The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Ethel Bunce.
It's National Send Your Team to the Jell-O Bowl week.
Tell everybody you know, and don't let the week go by without Jell-O.
This is Don Wilson for Jell-O again. You know, sports lovers everywhere are Jell-O fans these days. That's because Jell-O gives you real get-out-and-win energy and a little extra kick that comes from the sheer delight of eating Jell-O. Send your team to the Jell-O Bowl this week.
Jell-O.
Now, Betsy, please, come on, finish your breakfast or you'll miss the school bus.
Where's Daddy?
Oh, Daddy worked late last night, so I let him sleep longer this morning. I'll call him in a few minutes.
Look at Bobby.
Oh, you are a Dickens. Yes, you are. You like this rattle? Huh? Like the rattle you do?
Can he understand you?
No, dear, not yet.
When will he be able to talk to me?
Oh, he'll talk to you in another year. Maybe less, maybe more.
How old was I when I talked?
Oh, you talked early. You were 10 months when you said Mom and Daddy.
How did I say it?
Oh, you said Mama, Dada.
Did I?
Uh-huh.
Mama, Dada.
That's right. Now you eat your breakfast, Betsy. Goodness, it's hot in here.
It wasn't hot when I got up. It was so cold, even my bathroom was cold.
I know it. There's either something wrong with the furnace or the way the house was designed. We either roast or freeze. It's so drafty.
I like it warm to get dressed up in the morning.
I know, dear. I do, too. Well, I turned the thermostat way up so our bathroom would get plenty warm for Daddy. I also put a heater on in there.
When I was little, what did I call bananas again?
Bananas.
Couldn't I say bananas?
No.
Bananas.
Yes, bananas. Oh, you want some attention too, Bobby, huh? Oh, you're such a darling. What was that?
Sounded like that.
For heaven's sake, go see what's wrong. I'll bring the baby. Go on, dear. Go on.
What's the matter?
We're coming. What's happened, dear?
Cold weather got you down? Well, then why not warm up with the bubbling champagne opera De Fledermaus by Johann Strauss? You can enjoy a complete performance of De Fledermaus this Saturday afternoon, broadcast over most of these CBS radio stations, direct from the stage of the Metropolitan Opera House. Among the great Metropolitan Opera stars who will be heard in this gay work from old Vienna are Hilda Gürten, Roberta Peters, Blanche T-Baum, Cesare Velletti, Theodor Uppmann, and Frank Guerrera, with Erich Leinsdorf conducting. You can also hear those familiar Metropolitan intermission features, Opera News on the Air, and the Metropolitan Opera Quiz. The Metropolitan Opera broadcast is just one of the great musical programs that are presented each week by CBS Radio. Every Saturday evening, CBS Radio brings you the complete concert by the New York Philharmonic. And in 2 weeks, we'll begin a new series of Sunday programs by the Cleveland Orchestra. For fine music all year round, you can count on CBS Radio.
What is it?
What's the matter, Daddy?
Darling, don't just keep hopping around holding one foot after the other. At least tell us what's wrong. Did you step on something?
Yes.
Did you cut your feet? I mean, there wasn't any broken glass that I know of.
No.
Did you just stub your toe?
Oh, stub my toe. No, I burned my feet.
Burn them? On what? Well, sit down and I'll get something to put on them. You have to put something on them right away.
Don't go in the bathroom. Don't go in the bathroom.
Why? I've got something in the medicine cabinet for burns. How did you burn your feet?
The floor in the bathroom.
What?
Floor.
Oh, Mommy, look at the floor. It's melting.
Melting? What do you mean?
You can see Daddy's footprints, just like he stepped in some mud. It's all sunk in.
Why, good heavens. What's the matter with the bathroom floor?
I don't know what's the matter. All I know is I walked in there and I down there died. Oh, my feet.
Betsy, go downstairs and bring up the butter dish. Hurry up, dear. Bring up the butter dish. Why, look at the floor. Isn't that the funniest thing?
It is not very funny to walk on it with bare feet, I'll tell you that. Oh, it was like walking over a bed of red-hot coals.
Why, the whole floor is like thick, gluey hot tar. Well, what did it, do you suppose?
That whole bathroom is like a hot box in there.
Well, dear, I turned the heat up high so it'd be warm for you. Then I put on the electric heater, too. But good heavens, that shouldn't make the floor covering melt, should it?
No, it certainly should not.
Oh, you poor thing. Let me see your feet. Sit down. Lift your feet up. Oh, honey, I think you're going to have blisters. They've already started.
Of course I'm going to have blisters, for heaven's sake. I'll be lucky if I ever walk again.
Oh, no, it's not that bad.
Yes,
Betsy, are you getting the butter, dear? Hurry up. Your feet are all red. Oh, you poor darling. I'm so sorry. I only tried to warm up the bathroom for you.
No, it's not your fault. It's that new fancy composition stuff that they insisted on putting on that floor.
Here, here's the butter.
Oh, fine. Put your feet up,
What are
dear.
you gonna do?
Lean back, and put your feet up.
Right, be careful.
Both of them now.
Yes, both of them. Be careful.
I will.
Gee, Daddy, aren't you ticklish on the bottoms of your feet? Oh, I am.
I guess Daddy's feet are stinging so right now he doesn't feel very ticklish, do you, dear?
Be careful.
I'm careful now. I'm careful. There. There, now don't put your feet down on the rug. They're all greasy. Hold them up in the air while I get a pair of your old socks here to put on.
Boy, I tell you, when I walked into that bathroom and my feet suddenly sank an inch into that floor. For a second, I didn't even know what had hit me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, poor thing.
All of a sudden, I felt this terrible burn on my feet. I let out this yell.
I know. We heard you downstairs. I said, what was that?
And I said it sounded like Daddy.
Yeah, well, it was Daddy. I could hardly pull my feet out of that black, oozy stuff.
One good thing, you don't seem to have tracked any in here on the rug. What is it? What's it made of?
I don't know. It's some plastic composition that Mr. Rogers insisted on our using.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Here, hold your foot up. Let me get your socks on. I'll careful.
Be careful.
I will.
Yes, Mr. Rogers. Don't you remember?
No, I hardly remember Mr. Rogers. Honestly, when we were planning the house, it seems to me we saw him every day for weeks. Now he hasn't even been around to look at the house he designed.
Yeah, you know why, don't you?
Why?
Got the job of designing that... Careful now, that new manufacturing plant going up outside of town. Sure, Mr. High and Mighty, he can't be bothered with us now.
Well, I suppose he is busy.
Yeah.
He was nice, dear.
Nice. You call it nice to plan something for our new house that practically burns my feet off?
Well, no.
All right, now look, you call my office and tell him I won't be down today, will you? And then I want you to... What are you doing?
I'm trying to reach in and disconnect the heater.
No. Just leave it the way it is. We're going to call Mr. Rogers and get him over here. And I want Mr. Rogers to witness that sea of bubbling plastic just the way it is. So you see that, Mr. Rogers? Did you see that mess?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it was a combination of the radiator, which was hot, and then putting on the heater, but even so, it doesn't seem to me it should start the floor simmering.
Simmering? That stuff was boiling, literally boiling.
Well, not really. It wasn't boiling. You mustn't exaggerate. Now.
Look, I'm the one with the burned feet.
Well, I must say it's certainly unusual.
Unusual? Is that all you have to say, Mr. Rogers? It's unusual?
Now, dear.
Well, look, I'm sorry if I sound excited and mad, but I am excited and mad, and I consider you responsible for this, Mr. Rogers.
Well,
and
I would like to
just
say...
allow me to finish, if you please. As the architect, you should have known the dangers of this material. Trouble with you architects is you're always so anxious to experiment with new materials. Well, if it works, that's fine. But if it doesn't, you don't have to live with it, if I may remind you. We do.
The reason I turned the thermostat up so high, Mr. Rogers, is that the house doesn't warm up quickly.
No.
And then when it does, we just roast. But after 15 minutes, it cools off and is terribly drafty. And while I don't like to hurt your feelings, Mr. Rogers, I can't help but feel that the draftiness must have something to do with designing the house. You know, dear, it is drafty.
Drafty? Look, just come on downstairs. Come on. I just want Mr. Rogers to stand in our front hall. Practically a typhoon that just sweeps down there.
Oh, honey, does it hurt to walk?
Of course it hurts. Look, you go on down ahead of me. I'll limp my way down. Go on, Mr. Rogers.
When I sit reading in the living room, I always have to wear a sweater, and there's a breeze always on my feet. There. Now, you feel this awful breeze in the hall down here?
Oh, yes. It is quite a breeze.
Yes, well, Mr. Rogers, don't you think we have a right to complain?
Oh, yes. Of course, I don't like to say this.
No, you go right ahead. I didn't mince words. It's your turn.
Well, first of all, in regard to the floor covering on your bathroom floors, if you will think back, I believe you will recall that I was opposed to using it.
Opposed? You recommended it.
No, I beg to differ with you. But I strongly urge the old-fashioned tile floor, which in the long run...
Mr. Rogers.
Just allow me to finish, please. But you wanted to save money, and you had a friend who was just starting a new business with this new and untried plastic tile. His own formula, you said. Some new plastic tile composition.
Harry Sidlow. That's right, dear. Harry talked you into it, and he has since gone out of business. Remember?
No. What I got from Harry was for the kitchen floor.
No. What is on the kitchen floor is what I insisted on. It is also a plastic composition. But that has been tried and proved, and although it was expensive, I think you'll find it will last longer than any of us.
I'm afraid Mr. Rogers is right, dear. I do remember now.
As for the draftiness, Mrs. Piper, I think if you'll recall, I also warned you about that.
What do you mean?
Well, you wanted a high stairwell with a winding stairway. And you also wanted no doors between the hall and the living room or between the hall and the dining room. Just arched doorways.
Oh, but they're prettier.
Oh, yes. Prettier, but draftier.
Well, it saved money not having doors there.
Well, you see, people who build houses don't always listen to the architect. Well, let's say you listen but don't believe him. Then, when the house is finished, you discover that in the long run, you didn't save money because certain things have to be done over. Now, shall we sit down and discuss your problems?
And why, may I ask, didn't Mr. Rogers talk me out of buying that floor covering from Harry Sidlow?
Darling, as Mr. Rogers said, you didn't listen. Or if you'd listened, you didn't believe him. Anyhow, you said you were saving money.
Saving money, boy. Now we have to rip up our bathroom floor coverings and put new stuff down. Gosh, what an expense.
And what a mess. Furthermore, I think Mr. Rogers was right. We'd better keep the radiators all turned off in the bathrooms until then. What I'm more concerned about are these arched doorways.
Well, you heard them. They're arched. We'll have to have special doors made that are rounded at the top, and special orders take time.
Yes, and we're in for a cold winter. If we don't do something about the draft, we'll have to sit around bundled up all the time.
Well, I don't see that we can do much about it.
I suppose we could hang up something over the doorways.
Hang up what?
Wait a minute. I know. Here's a box of nails and the hammer. I was hanging up some pictures.
What?
Stand on a chair and pound in a big nail on either side of the doorway.
Do what?
Pound in the nails. Here, stand on that chair. Do that while I get those 2 old gray blankets we never use, one for each doorway. Here, I know just where they are, and let's try them.
2 old gray blankets, for Pete's sakes. How will that look?
Terrible, but isn't it better than catching pneumonia or having the children get sick? Now pound in the nails. We'll take the blankets down when company comes.
Oh, my gosh. After months, we finally get ourselves a beautiful new house. Now we have to hang up 2 old gray blankets to keep warm. Oh, boy, such is life.
No oily aftertaste, no oily aftertaste. Now there's a margarine.
Good, that's the margarine.
With no oily aftertaste.
Today's good luck is the light margarine. Light in flavor, light on your tongue. Just like the high-priced spread. Lever Brothers has world rights to the process that makes good luck different from other margarines. It's light. Guaranteed to leave no oily aftertaste or your money back.
No oily aftertaste. Good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck.
The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Ethel and Albert with Francie Myers, Madeline Pierce, and John Gibson, and is produced by Walter